Welcome to Coffee with Democrats, a sensible platform for progressive conversations. Coffee with Democrats is a grassroots movement dedicated to hearing from Democrats, candidates, legislators, and friends from all political backgrounds who want great conversations. Coffee with Democrats is committed to increase Democrat voter registration and Democrat voter turnout by making voting more exciting and meaningful. And now here's your host of Coffee with Democrats, Kevin Dawson.
Hi, Kevin.
Good morning, Mr. O'Rourke. It's great to see you. What a wonderful day to see you. And I love the Defense of Democracy banner in the background. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to be waiting for just a couple of minutes for Larry Bush to join us. We're excited to have him on with us today. This is going to be a very interesting conversation that we will have with him. Good morning and welcome to Coffee with Democrats. Good to see you.
Good morning.
Well, Larry, let's get started here. Let's talk a little bit about you. And again, welcome to Coffee with Democrats.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much.
We've gone nationwide. We're trying to connect blue dots all across the nation. We're in 8 different states, and but we got started right here in Oklahoma. I'm in Norman, Oklahoma, and the co-founder of Coffee with Democrats with me is Steve Holcomb. He's an attorney up in Pawhuska. Up in Osage County. So he is a valued member of our Coffee with Democrat family. And we are just thrilled to have you come on Coffee with Democrats today and talk with us. And,
pleasure to be here.
Since this is Coffee with Democrats, we really like to focus on, starting out our day just like we did in the old days. When I was a kid growing up, we'd go down to the donut shop and have coffee, and all the old guys and ladies we're sitting over there in the corner hashing out all the world's problems, over a cup of coffee. And that's how we got our name, Coffee with Democrats, is to kind of solve the world's problems. So speaking of which, I'm going to see if I can get this out in front of me here. This is my coffee mug for the day. It's Good Shepherd Lutheran School up in Marysville, Kansas. That's where my grandchildren go to school. And my favorite cup of coffee is just a little bit of coffee with a whole lot of sweetener and cream in it.
Well, that sounds good.
What is your favorite morning drink?
I always start my morning off with a protein shake, and gives me the energy I need to get me going, to get out and get up and face the day and get out there and knock the doors. So I always start out with protein. It's kind of a drink and meal in one.
There you go.
I get the 2-in-1 to start the day off and get the vitamins and nutrients I need and the energy I need to do all the things I need to do and accomplish for the day.
It sounds like something that's fun. So what's your favorite flavor? Is it chocolate or vanilla?
I like chocolate. I've always been a big chocolate fan. I don't know if it was just growing up here in Oklahoma with the winters, the hot chocolate, but kind of reminds me of hot chocolate in the morning, if you will.
Right. I have a very good friend of mine who goes and works out every day. I think he lifts about 350 pounds, 400 pounds every single day. His arms are as big as my legs.
Wow.
He's a massive.
I'm more of an endurance guy now. I can't lift very. I've got too many injuries or former injuries to lift a lot of weight. So mine is more stamina.
Yeah, my legs left me a few years ago, so I'm no longer able to do that anymore. My ankles and knees, I can't do it anymore the way I used to. Yeah, I'm lucky to get out of bed in the morning and just walk. So.
Right.
But let's talk less about me. Let's talk more about you and talk about your how you got started. Let's talk about your childhood, where you were raised, where were you born, and
I was born and raised in Ada, Oklahoma. My grandmother raised me there. Had a big influence and impact on me. She was chairman of the Pontotoc County Democrats and also the Pontotoc County Election Board. She ran both of those organizations. She was a housekeeper. She got up. She cleans toilets for a living, and she'd run both of those organizations in the afternoon and come home after that, she'd walk. And so health and conditioning and exercise was a big part of what she did. And that rubbed off on me and influenced me even still to this day. I resisted politics, wasn't really interested in politics just from growing up watching her and her frustrations with politics, seemed to be upset and frustrated all the time. And I thought, man, who would want to be, live that type of lifestyle? We're upset. And now that I get older, I kind of understand the fight that she had. She was all about equality, women's rights, fighting for women's rights. And so I understand the frustration, I understand the fight and the importance of it now, and certainly have a greater appreciation for it. And it motivates me today, just drawing from those experiences and seeing her fight and her struggle.
So again, I don't want to stereotype anybody, but your grandmother, I get this vision in my mind. Your grandmother knew what discrimination looked like, and she knew the pathway to get beyond that. And that, and again, I'm looking at it through some rose-colored glasses, but the best way to get there is through the Democratic Party.
Right. I think I heard kind of what you're saying. My volume is a little down a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I was just saying your grandmother knows what discrimination looks like, and it's a Democratic
Party. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. She knows. It was interesting. So I always say she raised me on the front row of the First Baptist Church there in Ada, and we were the only people of color there. We're on the front row of the First Baptist Church there every day, and she had a lot of pride, took a lot of pride in that. And she knew she knew it was there, but she smiled at it and she embraced it, and that was her way of overcoming racism and discrimination. I refer to it now as killing them with kindness, but she always had a great attitude towards it. She never responded negatively to it or let it get to her in any way. Always had great composure. Of course, she knew it was there, and she prepped me even as a young kid that, hey, people are going to stare at you, people are going to make comments, but you don't respond to it, certainly in a negative way. And just really blessed and really fortunate to have that as an example for me, especially now later in life and
Sure.
in politics. It really transferred well into what I'm doing now.
Well, in those formative years helped develop you. And if I'm understanding things correctly, as a child, you became an athlete, a very young athlete.
Yes, sir.
And you fell in love with a particular sport. I can see it in your background back there.
Yeah.
You want to talk a little bit about your youth experiences and sports and
absolutely
college and your field of study and what you did later on with athletics.
Absolutely. Yeah, growing up in Ada is a football town. It's a community where the football programs won more state championships than any school in Oklahoma. So I always tell people you either play football or you move. So of course, I played football there, and my ninth grade summer, actually, Barry Switzer came to me and said, hey, Larry, in 4 years, I want you to come be my starting quarterback. And that's one of the best days of my life. Growing up, my grandfather was the biggest OU football fan that I've ever met to this day. The only time he cried in his life was when OU lost a football game. I can't remember, but everybody in my family still talks about that day. So fortunately, he passed away my sophomore year, so he didn't get to see me play. But growing up, being around him, and my dad was a big OU football fan, so that was a dream come true. But I ended up playing defensive back there. Bobby Proctor got a hold of me and said, no, you're going to be a defensive back. So played in the secondary there, started there 4 years, finished, had a great career there, really exciting. Finished 10th in all time in career and interceptions. Ended up breaking my leg, my fibula, actually my junior year in the Cotton Bowl, and kind of got misdiagnosed. And so it set me back a little bit and went from a potential first, second round to a free agent. And God just had a different plan, a different path for me. And Steve Owens was a big influence on me, the former Heisman Trophy winner. And he did insurance, and he said, Larry, do insurance. And I just knew he was very successful and very wealthy. So he's been a mentor to me in terms of my business and getting into insurance. And I've been fortunate and been doing this here in this community for the past 20 years. And certainly football and that experience and playing for OU has really opened a lot of doors for me with my business.
You also had somebody else early in your life in Ada that you grew up with.
Grew up with Blake Shelton. We rode bikes together and got into trouble and did all the things that you do as kids.
Right.
Of course, him being a country music star, he can still get away with that stuff today. But yeah, good friend of mine, childhood friend. A lot of great memories with growing up with Blake. Early on, had no idea that he would grow up to be such a great, legendary country music star that he is today. But he's always had that smart, aleck, great sense of humor that he's had, and just really great to have that relationship with him and know him at such an early age, and all the stories that I could share. He probably wouldn't want me to share them on here, but yeah, it was a lot of fun, a lot of great memories there.
Well, let's talk more about you.
Yes, sir.
We've talked about some of the people that have influenced you a little bit, and but at some point after college, you went on, played pro sports for a little bit, but then you wound up in Lawton, Oklahoma, from Ada to Lawton. How did that happen?
Yeah, Ada to Lawton. Well, I met my ex-wife in college, and she's from Lawton, and what had happened, actually, we'd moved to, right after I got through playing football, we'd moved to Houston area, and we lived there for a couple of years, and my dad got cancer. And I wanted to move back to Oklahoma to get closer to my dad, who had cancer, and that way I could be here with him. And I found a job here. It happened to be in her hometown of Lawton, and that's how I ended up here, and it worked out well. It was either here or Ada, and there's about twice as many people here in the Lawton Fort Sill area than Ada. I love Ada; that's my home. But this community has been just great for me. It's a great place to raise a family. Great community, been very supportive of me and my business.
And you've been instrumental within the community there, with the school districts. You work within the school district as well. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You do activities there?
Yeah, I started out and I still do to this day. I started out, my son, I always tell a story. On the first day of school, I took him in this classroom, and there was 50 kids in that classroom, and I thought, man, how can anyone learn in this type of environment? And I asked the teacher, hey, what can I do? How can I help? And she said, well, I need supplies. So I started buying supplies for her, and before I knew it, I was sponsoring the whole school, paying for the school to take trips to the zoo so kids could learn off the menu, taking them to restaurants, and went from that to coaching, to mentoring, and reading books to kids in the classroom. I still do all of those things, still do today. I still coach, still mentor those same kids. And it wasn't until somebody approached me about politics and I started doing the research that I realized why the classrooms were so large and why teachers didn't have the supplies that they needed in order to be able to do the job. And that's what really sparked a fire in me, reminiscent of my grandmother when she fought. It really got me motivated to want to pick that fight up and carry it and keep it going.
So you, from that fight that you were talking about, you decided to run for office. You worked within the Oklahoma Democratic Party and the Comanche County Democratic Party, and you ran for House District, what was it, 60?
Yeah, 62, ran for House District 62. Yes, sir.
And you ran a couple of times, and actually you came close a couple of times.
Yeah, I came, lost by 40 votes. It was a very close race, and had some support from the Democratic Party, but nothing compared to the support that I have right now, that I have right now. It's a different race.
And again, politics back then is a little bit different than it is right now.
Right, absolutely.
I'm not going to put you on the spot about talking about your opponent, but you do have an opponent. I'll talk bad about him for just a minute. You have an opponent that is an extremist, that is grossly extreme, to the point where he is a threat. He is a threat to democracy within Oklahoma.
Absolutely.
So, again, I don't want to have you talk bad about him, but I just wanted to make that statement. But your run this time is so critical, and that's why we need to be excited about your run as for Senate District number 32.
Absolutely.
And give me just a couple of minutes, because we need to talk about how can we help you with this Senate run. Tell us just a little bit about your website. How can people join in to help you on your website?
Well, you can go to my website, LarryBushForOK.com. You can sign up to volunteer and donate. This has been a Senate seat. There's a lot of people, and we can only reach so many on the ground and through the doors. So any amount of contribution that you can make to my campaign would be great and go a long way in getting that message out and reaching those folks that you can't reach otherwise through the door or through the phones. We just want to make sure that we reach everyone in the district and with our message and get them out to vote in some way, shape, or form. And of course, it takes money to do that. So any contribution you can make, whatever it may be, small or large, would be greatly appreciated. And as you mentioned, this is so important. It's a very important race, especially for women's rights and protecting those rights and their health care.
Right.
And so we've got to get some help and join together as a team and unite to make this happen.
Our public schools are under attack.
Public schools are under attack.
Yeah.
They want to get rid of our public schools. I'm very passionate about that. I'm public school proud. A lot of these kids that I see every day, they remind me of myself.
Right.
And I don't know how they can't, strike a nerve and make you want to stand up and fight for those kids. They're our future. And
absolutely, they
will be what our community is today. So
right, and we can't abandon our public schools just for some for a small expediency to help a billionaire or a millionaire someplace down the road. So
right.
Again, go to LarryBushForOK.com. Again, I'm going to spell that out: LarryBushForOK.com. Go to LarryBushForOK.com. You'll see over on the right-hand side at the top a little blue banner, a little blue spot. Click on that, and that'll take you to the Act Blue account for Larry Bush, and it says Bush State Senate 32. Don't let these numbers scare you off. There is one important place on this site that you need to really pay attention to. That's the one that has a $sign with nothing in it. You get to put whatever you want in there, whether it's $1, whether it's $10, whether it's $20. You can give as much as you are comfortable with giving. We do not necessarily need somebody to give thousands and thousands of dollars or to the point where it hurts an individual. We just need to give people the opportunity to give some money because Larry needs financial support in order to make his campaign run. So contribute
Absolutely.
Whatever you can in that blank space down there and contribute. Again, we need as many people to make contributions as possible to this campaign because the campaign does not pay for itself. This money just doesn't come up out of the blue. Hard-earned money pays for it. It's my hard-earned money. It's your hard-earned money that is going to pay for this campaign and pay for the future of Oklahoma. And
Absolutely.
That future, in my opinion, must include Larry Bush.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
So again, go to that website, LarryBushForOK.com, click on the blue menu button, and then go in there and make that small contribution or the large contribution. We need them all. Whatever you're comfortable with giving, and make that contribution to Larry Bush, because it is so critically important that we get this message out to as many people as we can. And so Comanche County is where you're running.
Yes, sir.
That Senate District 32. We've got some big events that are coming up here in this weekend.
Yes.
You want to talk a little bit about what's coming up? And
we have Get Out to Vote. We're going to be knocking doors. We've got Minority Leader Cindy Munson coming down. She's a Lawton native. She grew up here. She went to MacArthur High School, and she's done a lot of great things. So people here really have a lot of respect for her and really think a lot about her. So it's important to have her come back to help me and endorse me and help me and knock doors. It means a lot. And I'd appreciate it if if you know anybody in the area, in the Lawton area, family, friends, we'll be here meeting in my office Saturday at 1:00. It's Larry Bush Insurance Agency, my business.
Your
the address is 3130 Northwest Cash Road. We want to try to get as many people out as we can here to just show support of her and me and my candidacy, and just getting people out to vote. That's the thing about the special election, is voter turnout and getting people out to vote. And that's why it means so much. And I'm so grateful to have people like her and Senator Kurt and Senator Hicks who have volunteered and come down to help.
I know Mary Bourne has been involved, but Mary is from that area down there as well. So Mary Bourne, Senator Mary Bourne, she contributed, I think, here a few weeks ago to your campaign and got people down. Well, that may have
Jason
been
Lowe. Jason Lowe has also come
because
down.
of the weather.
Representative Lowe, Jason Lowe, he came down last weekend,
right,
and helped out. So there's just been just an overwhelming amount of representatives and senators come down, and that's big. I've never had that type of support. So just trying to really maximize the opportunities that we have here.
Speaking about support, you picked up a huge endorsement. I mean, this was when I heard it, is like an atom bomb went off inside my brain, right, because you picked up an enormous,
unbelievable person. Yeah, Jennifer Ellis, who was very strong Republican, well liked, especially in the women's movement and with women, but very popular, very well liked. She came out and endorsed me. It means a lot to have a vote of confidence for someone like her, who is a Republican, that has the type of influence and impact in our community that she does. It's really helped me, and she's done a lot to help get her folks to come out and support me and get out to vote for me. It's just something that I credit, my campaign, and working with her and getting her together and getting her out to vote to support me. And her carrying that message on to her folks and getting them also to support me. Big win for my campaign,
right?
And big win for us. And we just got to carry that forward on to the finish line.
So the biggest hurdle that we have to overcome is apathy from voters. And you've been working very hard on
Absolutely.
Your door-to-door campaign, working on making sure people understand they can no longer be apathetic. They can't sit this one out. This one is so important. Again, I'm not going to make you talk about your opponent, but we've got an extremist
right.
opponent that is going to be that will want to take women's rights away, will want to take public schools and destroy public schools. He's going to be very, very detrimental to just the tax base, the people that, the taxes that we have to pay, we're going to have to pay more with this guy. So we have to make sure that people understand that. And you've been working on the apathy, and you have a lot of one-on-one conversations with people in these door-to-door, door knocking sessions that you have. You want to talk a little bit about some of those experiences?
Yeah, people have, we've been, and that's messaging. And of course, like you said, the money helps with that messaging and reaching people, because not everybody knows about the candidate, myself, and also my opponent. So that's why the donations is important to get that message out. But we've done a great job of messaging and getting it out to folks. A lot of people, when I get to the door, they're aware of him. They've done the research on him. And a lot of them are just terrified. They would, and many of them had voiced that, we cannot let him win.
Right.
And that's what I would share with everybody who's listening. We cannot let him win. We've got to get this seat back for a number of reasons. Too many to decide each and every single one of them, but we cannot afford to have someone like him passing laws and supporting the issues that he's been putting out there. He's extreme. The constituents at the door that I've spoken to, they understand that. They understand the importance of this race, and that's what really makes it unique in any race that I've ever ran in. I've never had anyone who's been this extreme and this far out there on issues, and that's helped getting motivated people out to vote.
And on the opposite side about that, I mean, and the good side is we've got to talk about Larry Bush. Larry Bush, in your campaign, you support women's rights. You support public education. You are absolutely instrumental. On your webpage, it lists all of the issues that you have, and for economic development.
Yep. Being a business owner, I've been in business for the past 20 years. So economic development, creating jobs, and that goes back to having strong public schools and education.
Yeah, and having proper health care. Our hospitals are closing because we're not funding them properly. And you want to make sure that we've got proper health care, especially in small communities.
Absolutely,
especially in a small community down there. And
absolutely.
It's so critical. I mean, we have already talked about women's rights, but we'll also just what we were talking about too. There's two other subjects that we need to talk about that you're very passionate about. It's corruption. Corruption within the government is growing. We see it every day with Ryan Walters, with his hate-tainment that he puts on, and how that the Swadley's barbecue scandal, all of this stuff is hurting Oklahoma. It's embarrassing.
It really is. And that's one of the things that I hear a lot at the door is that people are concerned about corruption, the misuse of their tax dollars,
right?
Especially when it comes to Ryan Walters and our Governor Stitt. People are really tired and fed up with that, and that's a message that's really resonating at the door with a lot of people.
And we lead the nation in incarcerations, especially women, people of color. The discrimination.
Yeah, women have been under attack, especially in our state for years, and we have to start, getting that message out to our women and encourage them that, hey, we've got to protect your rights, and continue to fight to continue to give you the choice and have those. When you do have to make those hard, tough choices, that you have the resources when you do so.
Well, I'll tell you what, this has been an outstanding conversation. So let me give you just an opportunity to give your elevator speech. When somebody comes up to you on the street and they shake hands with you and say, hey, Larry, I followed you when you were playing football. What are you doing today? What?
Yeah, I'm continuing the same football player that you saw out on the field back then, making plays. I'm doing that, but this is a bigger game, broader field, bigger field, a lot more important than OU football. We live in a state that's very proud of the football, especially OU football, but these issues are way more important, a lot bigger than OU football. And so we've got to get more people to participate and continue to fight for our public schools, for our health care, corruption, create jobs and opportunities for Southwest Oklahomans that I'll be representing in District 32. So I'm still making plays. It's just in a bigger field and broader field now.
and we need for people to support you on this one and vote for you, because it's critically important. One of the things that people talk to me as an OU alum myself with a bachelor's and master's degree at OU, I always tell people that OU football is affected by state politics. State politics impacts what happens. And you wonder why we're not running for national championships, but we're always in the top 10, but we're never in the top 2. At least we haven't been for the last 10 years, is because of it's our state politics. It's gone to trash. All the time that Barry Switzer was here, we were democratically ran. We were a progressive state, and we've stopped becoming a progressive state to the point where kids don't want to come here. We have to fight for that. We have to fight to bring that back, and we need people that understand. All this stuff about let's own the libs. Libs got us a long way in our life, and with somebody I studied liberal arts. That's my degree, and own the libs. That just seems wrong to me, because those are the people that that we talk about.
It doesn't resonate well with parents and recruits and people that could be coming here and helping our football team and just helping and contributing to our community. We've got to come up with a better way to incorporate everyone and a more bipartisan effort here in our state.
Absolutely. I agree with that 100%. And we got to get rid of extremists in our government. And we start getting rid of the extremists in our government by voting for you. Vote for Larry Bush. That's the one thing. Let's bring stability back to Oklahoma and do it with strength. The strength of Larry Bush. I mean, he can carry the state on his back if he needs to, and we want you to do that. We want to give you that opportunity.
this is a great opportunity for us. So we gotta take advantage of this opportunity. I don't know if or when we'll ever get an opportunity like this to get this seat and have the type of impact that we can have by winning this. And that's why we need everybody to contribute in any way that they can. Like I said, it's gonna take a team effort, a total team effort.
I love the way that you said that. That you cannot state it any better than the way you just stated it, because it's so good. We're tired of losing, and in order to be a winning state,
we're a winning state.
Start with Larry Bush,
and we're losing in all the things that really matter, that we value the most. We're last, and we've been last, and we're okay with that. And it's too important to continue to be last in those areas.
Yeah. Hey, it has been such an honor, a privilege. I can't tell you, I mean, how proud I am to be able to have this conversation with you. And thanks so much for sharing your time today with us, because your time is so valuable.
Thank you so much.
We got to make sure that, again,
this is important. And thank you for all that you do for Democrats and keeping the word out there, keeping the fight going and bringing us together. Thank you for supporting my campaign. Thank you for having me on, and let's go get this seat.
Let's go get it. Well, thanks so much for coming on. I'll give you all the claps. You've just
thank you so much.
You're an amazing individual, and you're going to be an amazing senator. So it will be my privilege to call you Senator Larry Bush.
You got me pumped up now, man. I'm gonna go get on these doors right now, man.
All right.
You got me pumped up. You got me excited now, Coach.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate everything.
Thank you so much for having me.
Again,
and thank you everyone who joined us and is a part of this and that goes to my website and donates and helps out and contributes. I really, really greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much.
We're going to say it one more time. LarryBush4OK.com. Spell it out. LarryBushForOK.com. Go to that blue tab at the top, that blue button, click on that, and let's make some contributions. Let's make some contributions here to make this happen, to make Senator Bush the next senator for District 32. Thank you so much.
Let's go. All right. Thank you so much.
Until next Thursday, thank you, everybody. Please be safe.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
What a wonderful conversation with Larry Bush, candidate for Senate District 32 in Oklahoma. What a great honor and privilege to speak with such an awesome native son and hero of Oklahoma. Thank you for joining our Coffee with Democrats community. We cannot be more proud than to have you as a valued follower. Please like and subscribe to this channel and share this message with all of your friends and family. Until next time, thank you, and please stay safe.